Hi, everyone. Good morning or afternoon, depending on where you're joining from. I'm joining from Fort Worth, Texas, so afternoon for me here. Let me know in the chat where you're joining from. We're happy to have everyone here today. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, feel free to ask in the Q&A. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Drew from Wasabi. Hi, Drew.
Hello, Peyton. Thank you so much for having me here today. A pleasure, as always, talking with you. I am Drew Schlussel. I am with Wasabi. I am a field CTO and Senior Director of Solutions Marketing, Technical Marketing here at Wasabi. Of course, Peyton, who brought us in today, Product Manager at Cloud IBR, and Greg Talone, CEO, Cloud IBR. Great to see you again, Greg.
You too, Drew. Always a pleasure.
All right. So today we have a nice, tight lineup for you. We're going to talk about Cloud IBR. We're going to talk about instant backup recovery. I think this is something on everyone's mind, given the state of cyber warfare. But more importantly, I think we're going to talk about how easy, how simple it is to employ Cloud IBR. The fact that Wasabi's involved, well, you got to keep that data somewhere. You got to keep your backups somewhere for some period of time. And, backups are good, disaster recovery superior. And we're going to talk about the fact that you can very affordably keep your backups for as long as you want, but more important and even better is you can recover at any point in time that you want to. So we're going to talk about some challenges. We're going to talk about how simple it is to use Cloud IBR to recover from anything that could happen. It could be PEBCAC, right? Problem exists between keyboard and chair. It could be somebody hitting the wrong button. I think the entire Amazon debacle, right, was a misconfigured DNS entry that somebody, put into production. Oops, right? Not blaming anyone. Things happen. Everyone knows that. But, it's not always a malicious situation. We're going to see a demo. Peyton's going to take us through a Cloud IBR demo, and then we're going to wrap it up. We're going to make sure you know where to go and how easy it is for you to get started with Cloud IBR. All right, let's move on. So, good old Dilbert. I think the funniest thing about Dilbert is it's funny because it's true. All right. And I think, oh my gosh, Scott Adams, I don't know if he was, a prophet, he could foresee the future, right? But everything he talked about, especially in business, especially in technology. But needless to say, like I said a moment ago, backups are great, right? You have to do backups. Everyone does. Veeam, very popular backup application, works for SMBs, SMEs, enterprises. Great to have that, copy on-prem for fast recovery, but more importantly, even better to have that copy off-prem, right? Have that air-gapped copy, because more times than not, if someone is going to come after you, they're going to first and foremost go after your backups. That is how they get leverage. That is how they extract maximum ransom from you. All right. So what do you do to prepare for that? Well, that's where Cloud IBR comes in, because when disaster strikes, or as other words that I won't use, when things go wrong, right? Having that disaster recovery plan tested, executed, so you know what to do. Muscle memory, okay, is the peace of mind that you need. Let's go on to the next slide. And I think this is where I get to make a quick promo. We're so glad to partner with Cloud IBR. What we bring to the story, what we bring to the solution, is the fact that we can help with cloud storage that is significantly less expensive than anywhere else in the hyperscaler environment. Why can we do that? Because we don't charge for egress. Why is that important? Because when you do these tests, and you should have a cadence of testing your backups, anywhere else you're going to have to pay for each and every test. With Wasabi, there's no egress charges. Hey, look at that. So you can test as much as you want. And to go along with it, there's no API charges. So using your data should not incur additional expense. There should be nothing between you and your data, and there should be nothing to stop you from exercising your DR plan. I think that's probably good. Protection, of course, object lock, immutability, and the fact that we're so easily integrated across this solution set makes it easy. Enough said. Why don't we get into Greg and IBR and take us into the demo?
Sure. So what we're going to cover today basically is how easy Cloud IBR makes disaster recovery testing. Some of the points you brought up, like backup is great, but how do you know that the backup is recoverable? And you don't until you try to recover with it. So one of the things you'll see that Peyton's going to walk us through is the ability to schedule monthly automated testing. No time required on your part. It just happens every month. You get reporting, you get the information that you need to show management and other stakeholders that, hey, not only do I have a DR plan, but I test it monthly. I've got proof that it works. And if something does go wrong, you can fix it, as opposed to trying to fix it at time of disaster, which is the worst time to, bring Dilbert back in. That's the worst time to work on your DR plan, is when the disaster is happening. So Cloud IBR makes it simple, fully automated. It makes testing enjoyable, because the weeks that lead up to a test become minutes that lead up to a test. You click a button, it runs, you come back a little while later, and you test your apps, you make sure everything's good. We make it that simple. So Peyton, I think the next slide is for you.
All right. Let me go ahead and shift over to the demo here. Thank you, Greg, for that. So hopping into the demo, I'm going to hop to the recoveries tab to kind of show you guys what the end product is here. So this is every recovery that I've ever run with this account. I'm going to click into my most recent recovery here. It's going to give a recovery overview. So the successful, the skipped, the failed servers, how long the test took. We typically see about 45 minutes to an hour to stand up the bare metal cloud. Once that's up and running, we see about 2 terabytes per hour of restore speeds after that. Down here.
With that and say, so Wasabi is some of the fastest restore speeds we see. And another great point, if you point out that runtime right there, every month when this runs, you're basically finding out what your recovery time objective is every month. So if your environment grows or shrinks, every month you'll get that new report. And of course you can run it whenever you want, but at a minimum, you'll have that monthly report that you can show management and say, hey, look, we have a X number hour RTO. And it makes it that easy to know what your RTO is.
Yeah, Peyton, if I could for just a moment, and I'm glad you just dove right in, but at the very top of the session, the first slide we had, I think, the simplest architecture I've ever seen, right? And if I could just recap that, right? You've got your on-prem Veeam instance backing up your systems with a copy on-prem, a copy in the cloud, all right? What Cloud IBR does is they are able to tap directly into that cloud repository that Veeam has established and pull from that into the Cloud IBR environment, into that bare metal environment, and reconstitute those systems and put them into full operational mode. Whereas Greg just said, right, you can test all your apps, test all your databases, make sure that you can get to the data you need, get your business back in an operational state, check the box and say, we're all set for anything to go sideways. So
thanks for keeping us on track. We skipped that.
Yeah, I just wanted to put it kind of back into context, because it does feel like magic. And the fact that literally with Cloud IBR, you can click a button or two like George Jetson does, is beautiful, right? You could not be simpler. So sorry, Peyton, back to you.
All via automation, our product reaches out into the bare metal cloud. It powers on physical servers that are dedicated to you at time of test or disaster. So this isn't a multi-tenant environment. It's dedicated just for you. Stands up that equipment, installs Veeam, adds your Wasabi bucket, scans it, decrypts it, builds the ESXi host environment, and then begins recovering all your servers, builds a Linux firewall for OpenVPN, IPsec tunnels, port mappings, basically everything you need to get your business back up and running. But it's so simple, we dive right into the demo sometimes. So back to you, Peyton.
So coming down here, there's going to be a list of all of the servers that were
Peyton broke up
recovered.
for me.
And then we're down to the, oh, am I back?
You're back.
Perfect. Okay, here is a list of all of these servers that were recovered here. as well as the recovery credentials. So the VPN accounts, which is going to be set up in the onboarding portion. That's how your end user is going to be able to access the environment. As well as the bare metal cloud servers. So your IT staff will be able to access those bare metal cloud servers. I'll show in the onboarding portion as well, where you'll be able to whitelist their IPs so that they're able to access those. And that includes the Veeam server, the ESXi, as well as the firewall. Coming up here to the onboarding, it's super, super simple. Typically takes our customers about 25 to 30 minutes to onboard. It's step-by-step in the portal of what you need to do. So first I'm gonna come in here and add in my backup repository. I'm gonna select Wasabi here. I'm gonna follow the on-screen directions. There's little screenshots in here as well for you. I'm gonna input all the information that it's asking for below. I'm going to click save and it's going to populate the bucket below. You can add in as many buckets as you would like here as well. I'm coming to the next tab here.
So many customers have critical servers that they want recovered and then non-mission critical servers. So what we recommend is you have multiple buckets at Wasabi. You send your mission critical servers to bucket A and you add that to Cloud IBR. And then for the rest of your servers, you put them in a different bucket that isn't part of the automation of the recovery. So it helps your RTO go faster, and you're only recovering what you need.
Awesome, thank you, Greg. So coming to the next tab here is the Cloud Providers tab. So currently for the bare metal cloud, we use PhoenixNAP as our provider. So we have they have 2 locations, which are Ashburn, Virginia, and Phoenix, Arizona. In the near future, we do have Google Cloud coming. They have much more locations, also making it international. So here I'm going to come in here, select a location. I'm going to input how much storage and how much memory that I need for my recovery environment. I'm going to click save. It's going to populate that down below. I can also select which location I prefer here. You can add in as many locations as you would like. Coming back to the next tab here.
So we are open to taking on Google beta test partners. So anyone who's on the call who would like to do beta testing with the Google recovery, reach out to us. You'll see the contact info at the end. Reach out and we'll talk to you about doing some testing in Google.
Awesome. Coming to the next tab here is the Veeam encryptions key tab. So there's a little screenshot and again, step-by-step directions of where you need to pull this from. You're going to come in here, add the Veeam encryption key so that we're able to decrypt the Wasabi bucket at the time of recovery. Coming to the next tab is the Network Information tab. So Cloud IBR provisions a virtual Linux firewall for each recovery. You're going to come in here and enter your production default gateways so that your servers have outbound internet access, as well as enter in any NAT mappings down here to open specific ports inbound from the internet. Coming to the next tab here is the VPN section tab. So we have 2 different ways of being able to access the Cloud IBR environment, IPsec VPN tunnels, as well as VPN users. So those IPsec tunnels are great for customers that have multiple branch locations. And then the VPN users is great for remote users. So they're going to receive an encrypted email with the credentials and the installer to be able to log into the OpenVPN. We have 2. Yep, go ahead.
So a common question we get, so this is 2FA. So the 2 forms of authentication for the OpenVPN are a TLS certificate that is a unique certificate generated for you via the automation at every recovery. So every time you run a test, you get a new TLS certificate sent to those end users, as well as a new password for each user. So every time you run a test, it's 2FA with unique credentials each time.
Yep. We also have 2 different types of VPN users here. The DR testing user, they will receive that encrypted email during a disaster recovery test. And then the end users are going to receive that encrypted email during a true disaster recovery. Coming down to the VPN DNS section, if you would like to access your servers by name, that can be set up as well. Coming to the next tab down here is the BMC Remote Access tab. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is how your IT staff will be able to access the physical hardware within the bare metal cloud. So you're going to come in here and put in each IP of your IT staff here. Once that's input, that's all of the onboarding. So super, super simple, super quick to get through. Once you're done with that, you're going to come up here to start new recovery, scroll to the bottom and initiate your recovery. And you're on your way to kicking off your first recovery. Coming back up to here, we have 3 different types of recovery. So we have the auto shutdown, which is going to stand up the environment, recover everything over, and then it's going to shut it down for you. And once that's shut down, you're going to receive a PDF report that looks like this. It's going to be an exact replica of what you see in the portal. You're going to receive this to your email every time a recovery completes, and it's going to come through as a PDF. So it's going to look like this. This is great for audits, proving that your backups are working properly. I'm going to hop back to the portal now.
Drew,
yeah, I just want to chime in here. So
Chris.
for anyone, I'm so sorry, Peyton. For anyone watching this who is, you know, really beholden to the operational side of the house and answers to, you know, the CFO or the COO, this recovery report is amazing. And it's amazing because it is one of the elements that you probably need to provide to your insurance underwriter, either to initiate a policy or to maintain your policy over time, because they want to see proof, right, that you are doing all the right things to protect yourself. Because trust me, we've heard collectively many stories, and, you know, heard first account stories about, you know, folks who were not prepared, who could not prove that they did the right thing, and the insurance company said, so bad, too sad, you know, you're not getting any money today. So you know, pay very close attention to this capability. It will be something that you're going to archive these, you're going to keep them, and show that you have been consistently diligent in testing your environment, and that you have done all the things necessary to maintain the eligibility for your insurance. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Drew. So hopping back to the portal here. So the next type of recovery we have is the manual shutdown, and it's going to stand up the environment. It's going to recover everything over, and it's going to stay up and running indefinitely so that you're able to hop into the environment, test applications, VPN connectivity, or for any troubleshooting. And then once you're done with that environment, you're going to come into the portal, click to shut it down. It's going to shut down the environment. And again, you're going to receive that PDF report to your email. And then the last option here is disaster recovery. Pretty self-explanatory for that one. You're going to select that during a true disaster recovery. Coming to the preferences tab at the top here, this is where you're going to set your automated recovery. By default, this is set to monthly, but you can select options from daily, weekly, or monthly. And essentially, every month, it's going to stand up the environment, recover everything over, shut it down, and you're going to receive, again, that PDF report to your email. Here's the report again, and then I'm going to hop back to the slides here, which decided they wanted to go away on me. There we go. All right, and I'm going to pass it back over to Greg. Thank you, everyone, for listening to that demo.
Cool. So a couple of questions. Drew, the first one for you. Wasabi plans to be FedRAMP authorized?
We are working on standing up our FedRAMP compliant storage in the near term. So stay tuned. We'll have more news for that probably in the beginning of next year.
All right, awesome. That was from Marco. Thank you, Marco. Another one from Marco. So yes, we do support Azure Government Blob Storage. And coming in Q1, we'll actually be offering Azure as a destination for recovery. So right now, our recovery consists of PhoenixNAP, Bare Metal Cloud, and the Google private VMware cloud. Coming in the near future will be Google the hyperscaler, the CE compute engine. And then in Q1 of next year is when we plan to release Azure so as a destination recovery. So you'll be restoring to Azure's compute instance.
Now, Greg, I know you love Wasabi. I feel it, but you do also work with other data sources like Veeam Vault and Backblaze as well, correct?
Yeah, basically any S3 compatible or Azure Blob in that case, which Veeam rebrands as Veeam Data Cloud, Veeam Vault. Through all the testing we've done, Wasabi has some of the highest recovery speeds. So that's why we like them the best. That's why we like you guys the best, because the RTO is what people want to know. How quick is my recovery going to run? And most businesses, I'd say most businesses who fit within our target audience have a 24-hour or less RTO. Some of them, a great one on our website, Boreal Capital Management, when we first met them, his RTO was weeks, and there was no number in front of the weeks because the plan was, I'm going to call Dell and order hardware. I'm going to have it shipped. I'm going to have it shipped somewhere. That somewhere is going to be a data center who I now need to negotiate a contract with to get bandwidth and colo space, et cetera. And it would have worked. The plan would have worked, but it would have taken many weeks, especially back when we met him. It was during COVID when the supply chain was really off the rails. It could have been months, that DR plan. He signed up. 30 minutes later, he clicked recover, and we gave him hardware within 30, 40 minutes, and he had a full-blown recovery environment. So we take that RTO and get it down typically to 24 hours or less. Most of our clients are in the 3 to 6 hour range. Just depends on your data set size.
Well, good news. You'll be the first to know, Greg, that we're going to have an announcement here in the next few weeks that will cut the RTO down even further. So little foreshadowing there. Stay tuned. But there's even more speed and performance coming your way from Wasabi.
Look forward to it. Another question here: how does Cloud IBR provide VMware license? So we don't in PhoenixNAP. PhoenixNAP, what you get is a base install of ESXi with the default 60-day timeout on it. And it's a bring your own license if you're going to stay for longer than 60 days. In Google, with the VMware Cloud, we actually do provide the VMware license, not us personally, but through Google provides it from VMware Broadcom. So that when you look on our site, you'll see a pricing calculator. There's two pieces that you pay for our software. One is the software license fee, where you sign up either monthly or annual subscription. And then anytime you run a test, there's an hourly usage fee, which is actually billed by the minute. For PhoenixNAP, if you go to our calculator, it's right on our website. Most of our customers spend between $1 and $4 an hour for their recovery tests. So really inexpensive. If their tests take 6 hours every month, they get a bill for anywhere from $6 to $24. Some of the larger clients, maybe it's like $8 an hour, and their test takes 10 hours. So still under $100 to run your test. Google, because the VMware license is included, their price is a little bit higher. You can see that on our site. And that's a full-blown VCF, VMware Cloud Foundation. So you get NSX and vCenter, vSAN, et cetera. I think that answers that question. And when we go to Azure, that will all be, there'll be no VMware. And when we go to Google Public Cloud, there'll be no VMware. It'll just be true hyperscaler. And yes, PDFs. So I think the next slide, on this slide, managed service providers, good segue. So someone asked about, can PDFs be white labeled? And the answer is absolutely yes. If you go on our website, cloudibr.com, and you go to the partner section, you can click the link to become a partner. It's free to sign up. Once you're in there, you'll see a partner portal, and you can upload your logo. You can then edit these reports that get sent out to your customers. Will show your company logo up there in the top right instead of ours. You can also, that's how you manage customers. So basically, if you want to go to the next slide, I think to wrap that up.
Yeah, and Greg, if I may, to your point, if I could riff off of that,
Sure.
part of what Wasabi offers for the MSP environment is a account control manager. So you don't have to have a single Wasabi account and then assign buckets individually to your customers. You as an MSP can stand up what we call a control account. You can then subdivide that into what we call sub accounts, and you can track all of your customers' storage usage and there is an API to roll up all the billing into your billing system. So we not only try to make it easy for DR, but we also want to make it easy for you as a managed service provider to add cloud services to your line card as part of your DR offering through Cloud IBR.
Excellent. We've got another two good questions. So do the deltas made in the Wasabi temporary environment right back to production? So the way the data flow works is the customer is backing up from Veeam, using Veeam, they're backing it up maybe locally, maybe just to Wasabi. But either way, they can be sending backups there as often as they want. So they can do hourly or daily backups over to Wasabi. Once you come into our portal and click the recover button, our software is going to reach into that bucket and restore the latest copy of whatever's in there. You are in a test scenario, you'll still be writing backups to that folder, but we're going to ignore them because we're going to restore at the time of when you ran the recovery. In a real disaster, you won't be doing backups anymore. So we're just getting the latest backup. So this isn't like a replication where the data is being replicated in real time. It's just you doing your normal backups to Wasabi and then us recovering them. The other question was Hyper-V, if the customer is running Hyper-V or Nutanix or something other than VMware. So right now, we can recover via our automation any VMware backup, any Hyper-V backup, or any agent-based backup. So if customers running Nutanix, and we have a lot of them, what they did, because right now Veeam doesn't offer the API calls to do automation of restoring Nutanix backups to VMware. So what they do is they install the Veeam agent on their mission critical servers, and they do agent-based backups to the Wasabi bucket. And now we're able to recover, and we don't care if it's Nutanix or if you're in a hyperscaler, it doesn't matter what that server resides on, as long as you have a good agent-based backup. Or we can do native restores of any VMware, Hyper-V, and soon Proxmox. That's coming in the near future as soon as Veeam releases that functionality. And then once we start offering Azure as a destination and Google, it'll be the same thing. We'll be able to recover any of those into those hyperscalers. So I think that answers your question, so that people who are looking to move off VMware can do it. Cool. So this page, how to try the software. You get 30 days free of both Cloud IBR and Wasabi. So if you are already running Veeam and you're already backing up, if it's not going to Wasabi yet, you can go sign up for a free Wasabi account, send over some backups there, come into our product, register there for free. You get 30 days of unlimited usage for free. So the license is free, as well as the Phoenix NAP testing. There'll be no fees sent to you for using their hardware during those first 30 days. So you really get to see how awesome all this is without laying out a penny. You know, this, if you already have Veeam and Wasabi in place, you're looking at about a 30 minutes investment to run your first DR test. It would take you longer than that just to get someone on the phone from a company who sells DR to talk about setting up a meeting, to get a quote, to do all this. So it's really, you know, we've really simplified it so that you can just sign up and do it. So that's the 30 days. If you don't have Veeam yet, there is a promo code you can use on our site. So if we have any non-Veeam customers who are using a competitor looking to switch to Veeam, when you go to our website, use the promo code VEAM30, VEEAM 30, and that will give you a 30-day trial license of Veeam as well. So now you get everything for free for 30 days. So we make it really simple, and that's how you can get up and running.
Outstanding.
Price-wise, we have these three levels on the screen right now: Platinum Plus, Gold, Silver. For customers who don't have a lot of Veeam experience, who want assistance at time of recovery, that's where, through our partner network, our MSPs will offer a Platinum Plus level service where they will be your Veeam expertise. So it's a higher monthly fee, but they're there for you 24/7, as well as us being behind the scenes to help them. For the Gold and Silver, Basically, the difference is, and I can't really see it without my glasses on that screenshot, but you'll see it on our website. Basically, you get the 24/7 support with Platinum Plus. With Gold, you get the IPsec tunnels. And with Silver, you get basically enough to get you up and running. And if all you need is OpenVPN, that's starting at, I think, as low as $249 a month. Pricing is actually going up in January. So that's another promo for today. Anyone who signs up and goes live at the end of their 30-day trial before January 1st, you'll have some some little bit better pricing. It's not going up a lot. Cool.
All right.
That easy. We're right on target at 30 minutes.
Well, thank you, Greg, for having me. Appreciate it as always, Peyton. Great job. Any last thoughts you want to share before we let folks go and go sign up for that free trial?
I don't think so. Honestly, just sign up and try how easy it is. My first time ever with it was so easy, and now I'm out here giving demos on a webinar, so it's pretty cool. So thank you guys for joining today, and thank you, Drew, and thank you, Greg.
Awesome. Pleasure, Drew. Thank you, Peyton. We'll talk to you guys later. And any other questions that didn't get answered, I'll try to do it right now in the chat session. If not, just reach out on our website and ask.
Sounds good. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.